What's going on, Workforce? Brian and Chris here, and today we're talking about an incredible open world RPG that just happens to be called Forza Horizon 5. This is a little bit out of our norm, but we've actually seen so many comments recently, people just saying, hey, we don't play 14, but we like y'all's video game coverage. So to all of y'all who've said those messages, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Chris, you and I have been playing Forza like crazy. It just officially launched yesterday, and we just wanted to sit down and share our impressions with it, the good and the bad and the bugs, with you guys today, and hopefully you guys enjoy the video. So like and subscribe if you do. But other than that, Chris, dude, how many cars have you unlocked? Like all of them? How many roads have you unlocked? What are you doing, man?
I'm only like 40 cars. I think there's 530 or so on launch, and I'm at like 300 and something roads out of 580 or something like that. So but that's just the beginning. Like, you still have all the different race types to go through. You still have all the little jump with the 250 go boards to go find, which I only have like 70 of. So like getting through the first quarter of everything, very easy. When you go back and start trying to like 3-star challenges and stuff, it's an MMO. It's an MMO. So far I have yet to find too much that doesn't feel immediately like just an upgraded version of Forza Horizon 4. Mm-hmm. So it just feels like they ported it over. And I think that's been what the Forza brand has been doing, is Horizon's been getting these regular updates, is I think that they've realized that it has a bigger appeal than Forza Motorsport.
And with this, what we're already seeing, especially because it's play anywhere, like, so PC, Xbox, and cloud. So,
yep.
You know, if you have Game Pass, like, you've got Forza. People, I think, right now either are just starving for any kind of game, or this is just them like continuing to build upon that franchise and deliver an incredible product. Now, we weren't without our bugs. I want to talk to you about the issues that we've encountered with the game itself. But before we do, I really want to focus in on the positive rather than embrace the meme of like, hey guys, let's tell you about Forza's all their bugs, and then at the end of it be like, and it's a really great game.
Day one launch of an MMO.
Yeah,
that was the last statement of the night as we logged off. Day one launch of an MMO. It's fun to be in new content. It is not without bugs.
Right.
It's fun to be in new content.
I have to say,
and the game looks beautiful.
I have to say, like, it's beautiful into like this surreal perspective. Like, I played Horizon 4, and I thought the Horizon games and the motorsport games, like for a racing game, they've always been beautiful. The cars have always been well done. But when you step in, like even in that first race, something about what they've done is the skybox, and just like even these small details that you only have to stop. You have to stop to really see. Like, it all comes together in this just incredibly immersive experience that it obviously is over the top. Like, if you guys haven't played or you haven't seen the opening of the game itself, it's Horizon. It's almost comedic if it isn't, you know, obviously trying to be comedic in how they decide to kind of handle the intro into the game world. But it is so breathtakingly gorgeous, and the cars obviously look and feel and sound like all of that stuff is expected, but it feels like there's something under the surface, something just subtle that just kind of connects it all together. Because I just feel immediately like joyful when racing. Like, I can't stop smiling when I'm racing in the game, whether I'm doing it solo or I'm playing with friends. So outside the visuals, like, is there anything else that is like standing out to you as, you know, anything subtle? Like, I just feel like there's something under the surface. I can't put my name on, like my thumb on it.
I mean, a lot of it is that Mexico just allows them to explore a lot of the capabilities, as opposed to being in Scotland. Like, you're in sunshine, you're in fog, you're in rain. Yeah. And that's it. That's all the weather types you really get. You have the different seasons, which is nice. But like the first time you drive into a dust storm, oh, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And so because they picked a climate that has more extremes, where you're in these like deep, rainy, hard to see jungles, or you're in these urban areas with these tight little corners, or you're out in some big flat desert, and then a sandstorm rolls in and you can't see more than 30 feet in front of you. If you've ever, like, Lubbock, Texas gets those all the time. And so when you're out there for school, there are times where you literally can't see the end of your porch. You look out the window and you cannot see 4 or 5 feet from the window, and you're blocking your windows with wet rags because the dust literally just pours right past the weather stripping. And like, you feel that, and it's hitting your screen. And so I would say that the place they picked allowed them to really show off. Now it does feel weird because it's a real place. So there's times where you're like driving over Mayan ruins and stuff, and it feels moderately disrespectful. I'm just like, and they're like, yeah, be sure to take a picture of that statue. And I take a picture as I like bump the scaffolding, and like all the scaffolding falls over. And it's like, oh, cool. I'm sure they're really thrilled that like a car festival came to town and just trashed all their stuff.
That's the funniest thing about it. Like, cause you can pretty much destroy a ton of the world in the game outside of like the human element, because you'll go in and there'll be people all cheering, and you'll hit that barrier and it will stop your car. And I was just thinking, like, what a different story that would be. Like the
last
festival
one
shut down because Brian was driving.
The last one had bus stops, and people would be in the bus stops. And so the bus stop looked just as flimsy as like a light pole. And you'd hit a light pole doing like 180, and it would just boom, like launch off like it was spring loaded. And you're fine. You're getting points for that. And then you would tap that bus stop, and your car would just, you're done. Because I think that they're trying to protect that rating, right? As opposed to if this was something like the burnout rating, and maybe you're like, no, let's screw it. Let's do an M rating on this, and let's just have people dive out of the way.
The first M rating racer, just people explode. It's like you
or fill it with stuffed animals. It's just a stuffed animal version of the world, like those old what shooter series was that? Where you were the stuffed animals, and when you killed one, they like shot into fluff.
Yeah,
it's like, there you go. It's not violent. I
see Chad confirming that Phil Spencer said that Horizon 5 has tripled Horizon's 4 peak player already on day one. And I think that's a combination. Again, Game Pass is a huge aspect. PC, play anywhere. Because like you and I, like I've been playing on PC and on Xbox. And it's great. Just you boot up the game and all your, you're ready to go day and date, no matter where you're playing. And then you also have the aspect of the cloud, so that regardless of if you don't have the hard drive space, you got a Series S. So it took up, what, a fifth of that hard drive space?
Yeah, it's a 512 and it's a 101 gig game. So, you get like, if you want the big ones, right? You've got like, you put Destiny on there, you put a Call of Duty on there or a Halo or something. You put Forza on there, you put a single player RPG like an Assassin's Creed, and you're tapped out.
Yeah.
Like you're done. You got room for a couple little arcade, a putt-putt game or something like that. You're done, and you've got to pull something else off to put something else on. But I've got like literally when I went to download it, I've got 600 meg down, so I'm fine. But the S is very much like the first of like cloud consoles, because it relies heavily. My wife's like, so what happens to all your existing games? I've been buying games digitally for a while now. So it said, what of your games do you want to install? And then it said, what of Game Pass do you want to install? So I have a rental library of hundreds of games to choose from, but you've got to pull them out of the cloud individually each time, which is interesting. What's impressive about Forza is I expected there to be like so when I play Rocket League cross-platform, I have to like log into my Epic, and then it says, oh, you have to re-agree to the EULA, and it doesn't always pop it up for you. And then it's easiest if you just find out once you get logged in, you close the game, boot it back up. That corrects most of it. But like ultimately within like 5 or 10 minutes, and occasionally it makes you like, sometimes I've jumped to a platform, it's made me redo like the first tutorial. But like within 5 or 10 minutes, I'm playing, and it's my cars and my unlocks. We're good. My profile is exactly the way I left them. But there's a little bit of feedback. And so I just expected with Forza, like, it can't be that smooth. And I booted up my Xbox and I pressed continue, and I was like, it's going to make me drop out of that plane again. No, it just logged in. Like when I finished stream yesterday, I had lunch and I sat down on my chair and I was like, I'm going to keep playing Forza. And I just booted up the game and it just worked.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
So let's,
It's in an era where every game has to miss the small stuff to aim for the big stuff. That was an area that they really could have dropped the ball and didn't.
I completely agree. It's nice that I was able to also join and we were all able to play. Now we did run into some bugs. I know my game crashed out on me like 4 or 5 times. So we were streaming it. We were in Xbox party chat.
I think some of that's your streaming.
Well, outside of the stream aspect of the game crashing, like it's crashed and people were saying they were running into that.
Yes,
that
but
issue.
mine was worse while streaming. I had to lower my settings and reboot it. And
so I did actually. I went into lowering it, and it was like, I think that kind of ended up helping because I was looking at, like my PC specs. I was like, man, this is using up 100% of the graphics card. Like, okay, let's.
Yep.
It is
Because it gauges it assumes nothing else on your computer's running.
right.
And so if you have a browser open, if you have Discord open, if you have OBS open, it's like, yeah, but I want it. And
I gotta render everything. All this sand. I gotta render every tile on this floor here. But outside that, like getting into parties, like we also had other players playing with us last night, being able to, okay, now we're in our convoy, our personal lobby, and then you would ready up, and then it's like if you miss it, you're out of that event. Like it doesn't feel like there's a way of saying, hey, okay, I'm sorry, okay. Because it ended up being everybody be ready, press X, press X. It's like, let's get in. And so I think there's definitely some improvements. And I'm wondering how much of that was.
We had one friend that just never got into a race with us.
Right.
And how infuriating is that? Now, he doesn't play a lot of arcade racers. He plays a lot of like simulation racers. So he doesn't play a lot of video games with us in general. And so we were really excited to have him join us. And we never got him into a race because the interface was so foreign. And that's crap. Like the fact that I can't just do it for him like I can in, I don't know, any party game after 1995. Like I don't know why party games feel like they're getting harder and harder and harder to just do the basics and in playing with each other. So for the fact that this is an MMO, the one area it struggles is if you actually want to play with somebody. Now, if you want to play with somebody who's played Forza before, your brother and another friend of ours, the three of us have played a ton of Forza games together.
Yeah.
We played for like an hour or two before you guys got on together, and we knew don't try to party yet because it's easiest if you have identical content unlocked. Mm-hmm. And as we unlocked things, when we went to hop in with each other, I queued us up for something. They had another car in the same class. They were driving their cars instead of having to borrow mine every time. And like, it was very easy. The moment I got you and your wife and, the moment we got people who A, hadn't played as much yet, and B, don't play Forza games all the time, there was immediately cracks in the armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think if from outside of the borrowing of the car perspective, I think essentially if they were able to kind of solidify making it a little bit easier so that, hey, we're going to do this race, this piece of content, and we don't have to be on edge, so that you could be like, hey guys, we're going in, I'm the party lead, you're a part of the convoy, you're going to get sucked in and you don't have to worry about it. I think that would end up going a long way. And then maybe if somebody was like, no, I like the current system for whatever reason, I don't want to discount like somebody who plays the game differently than we do, but then just have that as a setting so that people could go turn on. Like, do you want the setting in which that you want to opt in? Because I couldn't go kick off an event because I was in the convoy with y'all. So it wasn't like I could go and be like, I'm going to skip out on this one, guys. I'm going to go do this one. So it ended up
then if we wanted to, and then if you said, hey, I meant to press X and I didn't see it, we had to wait for the race to start, which is a whole ordeal. Then it starts. Then when we have to quit, and we quit, it goes, hey, you're going to leave your convoy. And so then we have to reform the whole party.
Yeah.
So we have to go through a mess that we solved earlier, all so that we can try to say press X again. And then a different person misses the X, like, oh, sorry, I was getting a drink or whatever.
Right.
And so you end up with, and like the races, once I was lining up the races for us back to back, they're 2 to 6 minutes. They're fun. It's Rocket League, right? It's round-based combat. And I found the area that you wanted to do. I found some really cool areas where there's some ridiculous race types we can do. We didn't get into any of the Mario Kart type stuff, but there's some crazy type races, especially once any of us play kind of any on our own and have 30 or 40 cars of your own, where I know your wife went and found like the mystery machine, and if we teach her how to like tune cars up, she could go have multiple mystery machines at different. She could buy multiple and kit them out with whatever type of car she likes. Once you get to that, the game really opens up, but it is very much struggling from the MMO type stuff, where like in Final Fantasy, you download the game. Okay, when do we get to play together? Well, you're gonna have to really get to the first dungeon.
Okay.
But for an arcade-based racer, it doesn't need to do any of that. Like, yes, there is a story, but we don't need to make MSQ the pinnacle of Forza.
Forza, yeah. like
the whole advantage.
I'm here for the evolution. This is chapter 5 in this narrative of this one driver.
So you hopped off last night.
Yeah.
And everybody hopped off except for me and one of the guys that plays a lot of Forza, and he hadn't gotten to play much. And I dragged him into me unlocking a new zone. And as he did the quests, it had him do all of the objectives separate from me.
Okay.
And then at the end, he got the achievement for all those objectives being complete.
Nice.
And so if that jumped him ahead, imagine if you got to a step in Final Fantasy's MSQ and it said, you've already done this quest with Chris out of order. Do you just want to skip to the end? So we don't know that, but it unlocked all this stuff on his map. So we don't know if when he gets to that point and unlocks, is he going to have to redo that event?
Yeah.
If he doesn't, then my whole concept of this pivots.
Yeah.
Because that's the answer. I'll just drag you guys through my unlocks and it'll be like a Diablo power leveling session and we'll unlock your whole world. I'll just drag you through all my stuff because there's really no reason to gate someone's progression. Like, oh, well, you got power leveled through Forza. Who cares? Let's drag you into unlocking all the maps.
It's the new version of Rich Car. It's like
I will absolutely carry you into unlocking whatever types of races you want because I like going and exploring the whole world. I have 50% of the event types unlocked now.
Yeah.
You guys just want to play for a little bit. So if you have a particular type of race you enjoy, I'm your Sherpa. I've got over 1 million credits already just sitting around. I've got 40 cars. Like I'll buy whatever type of car you want. Or unlock it. I'll go unlock whatever type of race you want because I just want friends to share this game that I like with me.
Yeah.
I was having a blast.
I'm excited. I think this was a lot of fun. The fact that I streamed it and I felt like it had a really decent turnout. You had a decent turnout when you were streaming it yesterday. Fun. It's a fun game. I think it's so exciting to see. So we might have to do some more, playing some more Forza with the community as more people are able to just play the game if they've already. So like if you already got Game Pass, it's like you've already got it. So it's. I think for nothing else.
Their PC client can't detect OBS and enable streamer mode or not enable streamer mode. It's a toggle. So when I booted up on Xbox, it did remember that I was in streamer mode. So I had to go turn my streamer. I wanted to listen to their music.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm so excited that stream ended because I know that Forza has like a stacked music lineup. They always do. Mm-hmm. And so
it's a music festival.
Yeah. And so I was looking forward to going and doing that. And there's these cool, like you're driving and like a song will come on that has like a heavier beat than normal. And it'll be like, hey, during this song, double points. That doesn't mean as much when you have streamer mode and it's basically just chip tunes in the back the whole time. I'm like, well, that doesn't have quite the same impact as like a big song with lyrics and all these things that they don't have the rights to distribute. And I appreciate them having a streamer mode, but it'd be cool if it just knew, hey, OBS is running like Discord does.
Yeah.
OBS is like, hey, I got you in streamer mode. You can opt out if you want to. No. OBS is up. You're good. Shut it down.
Shut it down.
But the moment I close OBS, like, let's go back to radio stations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Guys, we cannot recommend this game enough. Yeah. Like outside the bugs and the fact that they've just been getting slammed 5 times more than their highest peak. I think that should have a lot of people excited to experience this. It's a lot of fun. Also coming out soon in Game Pass, Halo Infinite is coming out now. There's going to be the multiplayer aspect, which is going to be great. The single player aspect, not rocking like the co-op campaign. Apparently that's been delayed, so that's kind of a bummer. But I'll just wait to play the co-op campaign.
I'd love to play through the campaign with you. I love doing the co-op campaign stuff. I hope we go back to like discovering skulls and all that. Like,
100%.
Let's do it.
Anyway,
yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
Game Pass is a bargain. It's if you have Xbox Live and you've never upgraded to Game Pass, your first time upgrading it upgrades the remainder of your Xbox Live for $1. So if you want to go buy like an Xbox 12-month game card and pile that on so that if you have like 2 months remaining, now you have 14, it'll do that up to like 3 years or something. So you can go buy multiple of those cards and pay $1. When I did it, I only had like 14 months. And part of me now regrets because now I'm paying for Game Pass every month. But like even at full price, it's worth it. I pay for the Ultimate as well, which allowed me to have Game Pass over on my computer. All their first party stuff is day and date. So now things like Forza may have an early access that did not get included in Game Pass, but it is the official date. So in Final Fantasy terms, that would be December 7th, not 3rd.
Yeah.
But that's fine. And they get discounts on stuff. So if there's ever a game that you're like, it's coming out on early access or it has other stuff I want, I feel like I'm selling Game Pass and it just sells itself. Like it is like critically acclaimed Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy and Game Pass are, in my opinion, the 2 most assured values. The only game that keeps up is Guild Wars, and that's because they're asking for nothing.
Yeah.
Like that's the only game that keeps up, and that's because they literally don't ask for money until you're at cap.
I think Age of Empires 4 just also launched, in that
first party, day and date.
So we might have to check that out again at some point. So anyway, guys, we want to sit down and give you guys our thoughts, our impressions of Forza. We played a bunch of it yesterday. Really pleased with the experience, and A lot of people seem to be playing it within our community. So if you guys are playing it, let us know what you like about the game. And maybe we'll be able to get a community game night together sometime in the next couple of weeks if people are still interested in Forza by then. But anyway, Chris, why don't you take us out?
Guys, it was nice to talk about other games. I know whatever other games Brian and I are, there's a Venn diagram, and the odds of us overlapping in all the other games we play is slim to none. But what's important is that we're all gamers and we're all having fun. And sometimes it's nice to just go play something different. So whatever that game is, if you have an extra 2 weeks of Shadowbringers and there's not stuff you want to do in it, go play other games. Other games are great. But until then, we are charging ever closer to Endwalker. We'll see you next time.
Take care.